Babadook, dook, dook, Babadook, dook, dook, Babadook, dook, dook, Babadook, dook, dook, Babadook, dook, dook. Yeah, I watched the Babadook. I originally wasn't going to review this movie, but you know what, it's getting a lot of hype over in the US, it's Australian, and I thought, you know what, I've got the time, let's review the Babadook. It's an Australian horror film, psychological horror, bordering on, thriller, that type of thing. I think that this movie has so much more to it than you'd think the first time you watch it. On the surface, yes, it's pretty damn creepy. There were moments where I'm sitting there, I've got my dad next to me, so I'm trying to act all tough, not look like I'm scared. But I'm sitting there, and there's moments where I just felt the hairs on my arms sit up, and I just kind of shivered, and the whole chill down your spine, all that cliche stuff, I was experiencing it. That happens when you watch a movie in pitch dark at 1 AM. I guess that's probably the perfect time to watch a horror movie, and that's when I watched the Babadook. So I'm sure that added to the experience. Have you ever seen a character in a film where you just wanted to reach into the TV, grab them, and stomp their head? Was that a little too violent? I'm sorry, but sometimes you want to physically harm a character in a movie, and that's how I felt about a character in this movie. Probably not good that he was like a 7-year-old boy or something, but you know what? You watch the movie and I almost guarantee you'll feel the same way. The kid in this movie, he made me want to, he made me so angry, but you kind of understand it, and as the movie progresses, he gets better, and you're going to hate him at first, but as the movie goes along, it's going to make sense to you, and you're going to start to really understand it a bit more. I haven't even told you what the movie's about. For those of you who don't know, the Babadook is about a woman she has a son who was born, the day that the husband died. The husband died in a car crash driving her to the hospital. So his birthday, it's not really got a strong association with her. It's the day that her husband died, and it's 7 years on. So he's 7 years old now. She's trying to find a book to read to him at night, and she finds Mr. Babadook, and she reads it, and it's the story of Mr. Babadook, who's this man who befriends a little boy, and they're friends, and yeah. But then he takes off his disguise and he murders everyone. Your typical Mr. McGee, Dr. Seuss type stuff. The good guy just turns around and murders the whole family. So suddenly the boy is scared, and the Babadook in real life starts creeping into this family. Now what I love about this movie is that you're never really given any definitive truth as to whether the Babadook is real or not. And I love that, because this movie, it really is psychological. You got to figure out, is it in their heads? Is this real? Is it happening? You got no clue. And I highly suggest, this is one of those movies you watch it and then you get onto Reddit and you read all the theories people have on this movie, because there are some great ones, and this is the type of movie where people theorize. There's a lot of elements of different types of movies in this. There's a lot of the Conjuring type things, Paranormal Activity, your typical demon movies, but there's also, for me, I felt a fair bit of The Shining in there. That whole psychological thing, I felt a lot of The Shining in there, and The Shining's one of my all-time favourite movies. So if I ever make that association, that movie's doing a good job. The Babadook, I'm going to have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Which is, alright, probably doesn't sound like a very high score, but you got to think this is a horror movie, alright? I don't rate horrors very highly because they're generally pretty crap. But the Babadook, it was a good movie, so 7.5 for the Babadook. By some crazy chance, have you seen the Babadook or even heard of it? Because I'm not seeing it advertised anywhere, which is really annoying because this is Australia, what the hell. But have you seen the Babadook? Did you like it? You know the usual, let me know, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube. Until next time.